Alright, in the previous video, we created this click tracking URL. In this video, we'll actually search for the links in the email body. Okay, so first of all, I will start my ngrok tunnel because I stopped the ngrok tunnel after the previous video. So that's why now I'm back and I will create the ngrok again. Okay, so this is optional. I just name it properly Django, Redis, Celery and ngrok because I just want to identify which terminal belongs to which tool. Okay, so in the ngrok terminal, I will start ngrok. Okay, ngrok http space the port number. Okay, so in your case also, if you stop your ngrok for any reason and the next day you come and start working, then you will have to create this ngrok tunnel. Okay, so this is the new subdomain name that I got from ngrok tunnel. I'll copy this one and I will go to the settings and replace it. Okay, I'll change this one and this one also I'll change. Okay, so in your case also, you make sure you change these two things whenever you restart ngrok. Okay, so we are getting this different every time. That is because we are on the free plan. Okay, anyways, free plan is more than enough when we are working on the development. All right, so this is done. And next thing what I want to do is I want to actually go to this utils. So previous video we made this click tracking URL, right? Now in this video what we'll do is we'll actually take the email body and we will search for the links inside the email body. Okay, so if we get any links or maybe buy now link, read more link or any kind of links, then we will inject this click tracking URL. Okay, so how to do this? Well, if you look at this message, okay, so this message is a HTML message, okay, because this message is actually coming from the rich text editor. Whatever we write here is actually a HTML. Okay, so in order to get more information about the HTML content, we use something called beautifulsoup. Okay, some of you guys might have heard beautifulsoup. It is one of the very popular Python package to parse the HTML, or it is widely used in web scraping. Okay, so we will use this beautifulsoup to scrape our HTML content. Okay, so when I said scrape, it just means that we can parse our HTML content inside the beautifulsoup and we will find the URLs inside that HTML content. Okay, so if you don't understand, don't worry. We are going to thoroughly learn about the web scraping and we'll be learning more about the beautifulsoup in our future tool as well, because we'll be working on web scraping later, right? But sometime we need such tools in different tools as well. Okay, so for now we will simply install beautifulsoup and we will use this beautifulsoup to find the URLs inside the email body. Okay, so how to do that? I'll show you step by step. Okay, first thing, you have to install beautifulsoup in your virtual environment. Of course, make sure your virtual environment is activated and then go to Google and write Python beautifulsoup. Okay, so go to this PyPy project and you'll see this beautifulsoup 4. Okay, we call it BS4. Anyways, always go for latest version. Okay, so right now the latest version is 4.12.2. okay, so pip install beautifulsoup 4 and go back to your code and run it here. Okay, pip install beautifulsoup. So you can ignore this warning. Okay, anyway, beautifulsoup is installed and now we can actually import from BS4 import beautifulsoup. Okay, from BS4 import beautifulsoup. All right, so we got this beautifulsoup. Next, what we'll do is our goal is to find the URLs inside this message. Okay, so this is actually the HTML message. Okay, so in beautifulsoup we have a parser called HTML parser. Okay, so I'll use that parser and I'll also explain you what is this parsing. Okay, so here, okay, search for the links in the email body. We'll actually create a soup object. Okay, and we'll say beautiful soup, and this beautiful soup will actually take the HTML content. Okay, so in our case HTML content is nothing but our message itself, right? Message, because this message is the HTML content. All right, message, it will also take the parser. Okay, so there are 2 to 3 types of parser. Mostly used parser is HTML dot parser. Okay, you might be asking what is this parser and what is parsing. Well, the parsing is the process of analyzing your content or text or HTML content. Okay, so in our case our requirement is to analyze this message as a whole. Okay, because this is a HTML element. Okay, we want to analyze this whole message and we want to look for the href or anchor tag, or anchor tag is nothing but the URLs, right? So that's why we use HTML parser. Okay, so the parsing is the process of analyzing your text or analyzing your HTML. Okay, so that we can analyze each HTML elements. Okay, so that's about parser. And when we do this, we get this soup object. Okay, now we need the URLs which are inside this soup object. Okay, now what I'll do is I will actually loop through this soup and find all the anchor tags. All right, so because this soup object will contain everything about this HTML message. Okay, so that's why I will loop through this soup object. Okay, I am looping through this soup object because the user can enter multiple URLs inside this email body, right? He can enter many URLs like this. Okay, .com, then he can enter 2 or 3 or any number of URLs, right? So we don't have any control over what the user is doing. So that's why let him send any number of URLs inside this email body. We will loop through all of his HTML content and find all the links. Okay, so how to loop through this soup now? Well, first of all, we need URLs, right? So I can simply write this as a list comprehension, but maybe it creates some confusion. So that's why I'll first create normal or standard for loop. Okay, and then we'll convert it to the list comprehension. Okay, so we want to loop through this soup, right? For a in soup. Okay, this a need not to be anchor tag. This is just a iterator. Okay, for a in soup dot, in this soup object we'll get a lot of methods. Okay, so for example, your VS Code will give you the idea of how many methods you can use. For example, append, child generator, clear. There are a lot of things, decode, so many things, but I don't think you'll have to learn everything. But there's one method called find all. Okay, so we can use this find all, and in this find all, what do we want to find inside this HTML message? We want to find all the anchor tags, right? Okay, and that anchor tag has to have the href, right? Href should be true. Okay, because href is the optional. Many people just use anchor tag, they don't use href. Okay, in that case we just need to explicitly tell this find all that the href should be present in that anchor tag. Okay, then we will get the links. All right, for a in soup dot find all anchor tag, then we will print, we'll simply print a. Okay, a of href. Okay, a of href. Okay, now let's actually print this. Okay, before we do further coding, we'll print this and see how it works. Let me stop my celery and run it again. Okay, what we are doing, we are actually putting this HTML message inside the beautiful soup, and we are looping through the soup object and finding all the href. Okay, finding all the anchor tag with the href and printing this link. Okay, so let's see if we can find any links in our email. Okay, let me refresh it and developers test, and let's say, okay, so I'll put 1 or 2 links here. One is google.com, another one is facebook.com. Okay, so let's see if we can find these two links using our beautiful soup or not. Let's click on the send. Okay, so email sent and tracking URL. Okay, so you can see we are able to track, or we are able to find these links. Okay, so you can ignore this because this is our tracking URL, right? But we got the original link that was sent by the user, right? Now this is what we wanted. Before we forget, we will convert this standard for loop to our list comprehension. Okay, so what we can do, we can actually say URLs is equal to, I'll open a list. Okay, I'll open a list and I'll put this. Okay, I'll first cut this. Okay, remove this print, put it inside this list and give a space, and then let's cut this and put it inside this list. Okay, done. Okay, only this much. This is the way how you convert your standard for loop to list comprehension. Okay, anyways, all of your links will be stored inside this URLs variable. Okay, all right. Now next, what we want to do next, we want to check if there are any URLs. Then we will actually inject our tracking URL to this URLs that we got. Okay, so we'll do that step in the next video.